You're lying awake at 2 a.m., not because anything is actually happening, but because your mind is running a full simulation of everything that could go wrong tomorrow. The exams, the money, your future. What that person really meant. And here's the uncomfortable truth. None of it is real right now. You're reacting to imagination. Marcus Aurelius figured this out nearly 2,000 years ago, and what he wrote in his private journal might be the difference between a peaceful mind and one that never shuts up. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world, emperor of Rome, commander of armies. But here's what's strange. Every morning, before the world came demanding things from him, he sat alone and wrote. Not for fame, not for followers, not for an audience, just to keep his own mind under control. Those writings became what we now call meditations, and buried inside them is a brutal idea. Most of what you call problems don't actually exist, not in reality, only in your head. Here's what he wrote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now stop and think. The last time you were seriously stressed, was it actually happening in that moment? Or were you stuck inside a mental version of it? Be honest, because for most people, it's not reality, it's imagination. You're suffering from something that hasn't happened and might never happen. Modern psychology confirms this. Your brain doesn't clearly separate real danger from imagined danger, so your body reacts the same way. Heart racing, tension, anxiety. But here's the problem. You're triggering all of that yourself. Not life, not reality, you. Let me say something you won't like. You're not always stressed because life is hard. Sometimes, you're stressed because you've lost control of your own mind. And that's exactly what Marcus was training himself to fix. The Stoics had a simple framework. 2 categories, things you control and things you don't. That's it. Within your control, your actions, your effort, your mindset, your response. Outside your control, people's opinions, outcomes, the future, what already happened. Now look at your life. Where do you spend most of your mental energy? Be honest, because most people obsess over things they cannot control and ignore the only things that actually matter. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." In simple terms, stop fighting tomorrow's battles today. You don't have the full picture yet, and the version in your head is almost always worse than reality.
So how do you actually use this?
Because understanding it isn't enough. Marcus had a practice. Every morning, he prepared himself for difficulty. Not to panic, but to be ready. But here's something you can actually use immediately. When anxiety hits, pause and ask one question. Is this actually happening right now? Not tomorrow, not in your imagination. Right now. Most of the time, the answer is no. You're sitting somewhere, safe, breathing, but mentally, you're in a future that doesn't exist, and it's draining you. Especially as a student, you're worrying about exams before you've even opened your book, worrying about money before you've made a move, worrying about your future while wasting your present. That's the trap. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They were just disciplined enough not to suffer over illusions. You're not tired because life is heavy. You're tired because your mind never stops running problems that aren't real. You're living in imagined conversations, imagined failures, imagined futures, and calling it reality. Marcus Aurelius never meant for anyone to read his journal. He wrote it in the middle of war, pressure, and responsibility. And still, he kept coming back to the same truth. The real problem isn't out there, it's in how you think. Most of your problems don't exist. They live in your head, feeding on your attention, stealing time from a present that is actually fine. The man who ruled the world chose peace, not because life was easy, but because he understood where peace actually comes from. You can control your mind, or let it control you, and keep suffering from things that haven't even happened. Your choice.